thing we're going to be tying is what I call a loop wing emerger. This shows a little bit different technique in tying with the CDC. The tail's partridge, the body is a goose biot, the wing is CDC, we have some little partridge legs in here, and the thorax is with superfine dubbing. Let's tie one of them up. We're going to use a 2487 hook from TMCO. I like to put it in the vise so the eye is a little bit down to start off with. We get our thread on here, start wrapping back. Just go down onto the bend of the hook a little bit, just like so. Take off our thread. Now we're ready to tie in our tailing material. For that we're going to use partridge. We'll just pluck a feather off of here. And we'll strip off the little marabou part here. And we'll just pull off 4 to 6 fibers. Even them up a little bit. Then we'll come up to the hook shank and we'll measure it so it's about a quarter to half the length of the hook shank. Take a couple turns of thread, and that's about all you need right now. And do not cut off the excess partridge. Now we're ready to tie in our body material. We're going to be using the goose biot. So we peel one off of here. Look to see where that notch is. So make sure it's in the back. And we'll moisten it. And then tie it in tip first. And as we wrap forward with our thread, we'll tie down that excess partridge. And by leaving that in there, now we're assured of having a nice smooth underbody. Now we're ready to grab it with our hackle pliers. Do that first wrap with our fingers. Grab it with the hackle pliers, and we'll just start wrapping it. Just like so. And we'll go all the way to the thorax. Tie it off. Then we'll trim off the excess. Make sure it's tied down nice and tight. Put a little thread base down there so we have something for our feathers to bite into. And then we'll stand that up a little bit. Now we're ready to tie in some CDC. So we'll come down here to grab our CDC, and we'll just even up the tips here. And we're going to want the concave to swing up like this. So we'll just set the feather up here. Just take a loose wrap right over the whole bunch of it. And just pull the CDC through until we get to the tips, and then tie it down. We're going to wrap back to where we tied in our biot. And now we're ready to add some dubbing. Open the bag here. And we'll pull a little bit of this out. And you want to remember to put it on nice and smooth and even. And remembering it's a lot easier to add dubbing to your thread than to take it off. Yeah, it looks to be about enough right there. And we'll just start wrapping our dubbing, covering up where we tied off the CDC. And we'll need a little bit more. Let's put a little pinch on here. Just like so. And there we go. Now I want to leave a little bit of room right in here for when we tie in our partridge legs. So we'll select the partridge feather. We'd have used the other one, but the wind blew it away. Take and peel some off of here, some of that fuzz. And we'll select a few fibers off of here. And we can use AK's third hand here to hold it so it doesn't blow away again. Even up the tips. And we'll come up here and measure it so it's just a little bit longer than the wing from where we tied in the wing. And we'll pinch it on the side away from us. And we'll take a fairly loose wrap and kind of push it down underneath and come up over the top and then cinch down, and all that partridge tips here are right underneath. Take a few more wraps and we'll cut off the excess. Now we'll just come in and stroke all the fibers straight up and down. Make sure they're nice and even, same tension. Pull it straight over the top like a wing case. And then since we have stems from the feather in here, we'll just push those stems straight back. And as I do that, you can just see the CDC flare out. And that's going to give our illusion of an emerging wing. Then we just pinch it and then tie it down. Just like so. Come in, snip off our excess. And here again, you want to save every little scrap of your CDC because you can always use it for something else later. That's one nice thing about CDC. You can use the entire feather and just not a portion of it. And now we're ready to whip finish it off. And we'll just tie it off. Just like so. Take our thread off. Now we have the completed fly. And if you want, you can just smash the wing down a little bit. And this is what I call the loop wing emerger. The loop wing is pretty obvious. And the reason for the loop wing is if you were to take it out of the vise and look at it from the underside, the wing protrudes from each side, giving the representation of the wing unfolding from the natural. When it sits in the water, the wings was going to be supporting the fly, and the body and the tail will be hanging down underneath the surface.